Hi, I'm Miss Melissa at the Hout Free Library with the next installment of Elsa's Icy Rescue, published, of course, by Disney as part of their Before the Story series, written by Kate Egan and illustrated by Mario Cortez. The moral of last week's installment was don't throw snowballs in the house because Elsa broke one of her mother's precious plates with a picture of the magical hair on it. Let's see how much trouble they get into. For Elsa, it felt like time had stopped. She picked up the two pieces of the plate and thought about how it had looked just seconds before. The snow hare had been hopping without a care in the world, and now he was split in half. How had things gone so wrong so fast? The plate was ruined and it could never be fixed. Or could it? Could her magic solve this problem? If only she could freeze the pieces back together. Elsa tried to use her magic, imagining ice that would connect the two broken sides, but it was as difficult as if she'd never had magic in the first place. Was her power as broken as the plate? As she stared at the broken plate in her hands, she felt a warm stream of tears pouring down her face. Anna, who noticed Elsa had been crying, wrapped her arms around her and said, "It's okay. It's going to be okay." Ignoring Anna's words, Elsa shook herself free from her sister's embrace and burst out of the fort. Anna meant well, but she didn't understand. The plates were part of the kingdom's history, of the knowledge Elsa was supposed to gain to become queen. How would she ever explain this to her parents? Elsa wiped away her tears, a look of determination coming over her features. She would have to face the consequences. The sooner she admitted her mistake, the better. Somehow, she pulled herself together. She changed out of her nightgown and went down the stairs and into the garden. She would own up to what she'd done and accept any punishment. She would be as cold as ice. But her courage melted away as soon as she stepped outside and saw her parents sitting in the shade of the elm tree. "Oh, Mama," she cried, running towards her. "I am so sorry." She crumpled to the ground in front of the queen. Anna was right behind Elsa, and she explained what had happened. "Elsa borrowed the special plates for tea party, and then we had a snowball fight, and one of them got broken." The king's eyes grew wide. "A snowball fight?" he asked. "I started it with my magic," Elsa said. "It's all my fault. I borrowed the plates, I made the snowballs, and I ruined the snow hare." She still had the pieces of the plates in her hand, and she put them together to show her parents. "He'll never be the same again." The queen pulled both her daughters into her lap. "Shh, shh." She soothed Elsa, stroking her hair. "Everything will be all right." "But it won't," Elsa wailed. "A little piece of the kingdom has been broken by someone who is supposed to be the queen." That was the worst part of it all. How could she be entrusted with such a huge responsibility when she couldn't even take care of a plate? Maybe she would never be ready to rule the kingdom. The queen turned Elsa's face towards her and wiped away her tears. "It will be many years before you are expected to take the throne," she reassured her daughter. "Nobody expects you to be perfect now. You're only learning, and one of the ways we learn is by making mistakes." Elsa sniffled. She did not like making mistakes, and no matter what her mother said, she knew this was a big one. She took a deep breath. "But now no one will know the legend of the snow hare," she said. She swallowed hard and willed herself not to cry anymore. "Only the plate is broken," the king reassured her, "not the story. The legend is much more important than the plate itself, and it will live in Arendelle forever." From the other side of the queen's lap, Anna piped up, "What's the legend of the snow hare?" The queen leaned back and paused, as if summoning a precious memory. The snow hare lives in the woods and fields of Arendelle, blending in with the surroundings all winter long, she said. And he's magic? Anna asked. Elsa smiled, though her eyes still felt a little puffy. Of course Anna wanted to know about the magic. Some say, added the king, that the snow hare can bring a person good luck for a lifetime. Anna's eyes widened. How does he do that? She asked. All you have to do is hold the snow hare in your arms, the queen explained. But that is much easier said than done, because he is almost impossible to catch. He lives in the open, so people may spot him in the woods or fields in summertime. He may even come close, daring us to catch him. In the end, though, the snow hare darts away. He always manages to keep his good luck to himself. That's no fair, Anna said. The snow hare should share his magic with everyone. But Elsa saw the story differently. Magic could work wonders, but she knew why the snow hare would guard his carefully. Because magic could also be too powerful to control. And when it slipped out of your hands, it could even be a little dangerous. By the end of their first week at the summer house, the broken plate was just an ache in the back of Elsa's mind, something she could almost forget. She was still in her favorite place with her favorite people, and nothing could ruin that. One evening, near sunset, Anna and Elsa went to the edge of the woods to look for kindling for a fire while the queen stood nearby. They scampered along the hiking path, piling sticks and pieces of bark into baskets they carried, and played their usual game. Don't touch the ground, Elsa said, hopping from root to root. Anna, you're slipping. Her sister had one foot on a rock and the other on a rickety log. Anna's gaze was fixed on something deep in the woods. Shh, she told her sister, putting a finger to her lips. I think I see the snow hare. She pointed in the distance, and Elsa stepped in that direction. You touched the ground, said Anna. I win this round. Elsa frowned. Were you tricking me, she asked. Did you really see the snow hare at all? Anna shook her head. Okay, I made it up, she admitted. But you always win the game. I'm older, Elsa said, standing up straight and sticking her chin out. And someday you'll be queen, replied Anna, sweeping into a curtsy. Elsa did not want to think about being queen or imagine what the next day's lessons would bring. In the past few days, she had learned how to write official letters and how to call for the royal guards. Don't touch the ground, she cautioned her sister, moving up the path and starting the game again. She just wanted to enjoy her time at the summer house, where worries seemed to vanish into the breeze that fanned the fjord. When her mother led them back to the cottage, the king was building the fire. He took the kindling from their baskets, feeding the flames until the family's bonfire lit up the early evening. As the sun sank lower in the sky, the fire grew bolder and brighter, crackling with life. Besides the fire, Anna bounced in anticipation. When are we roasting marshmallows? Right now, said the queen, carrying forward a bowl of marshmallows to the fire. Elsa put one on the end of her stick and roasted it patiently. She waited to eat her marshmallow until it was golden brown all around. Anna, on the other hand, strung 5 marshmallows along her stick and stuck it into the hottest part of the flames. Soon her marshmallows were black on the outside and raw on the inside, but she didn't care one bit. She tugged them from her stick one by one and devoured them in seconds. As soon as she had finished them, she asked, Can I have some more? Not tonight, said the king. His face was lit by the soft glow from the fire. Their father reached down and lifted one of his fiddles to his chin. Keeping time by tapping his toes, the king began to play one of their favorite tunes. Anna and Elsa sprang up to twirl in circles around the fire, their favorite kind of dancing. And then, when they were tired after a dozen songs, they lay on the grass and watched the twinkling stars. Elsa imagined connecting the stars to form the shape of a rabbit and thought some more about the snow hare. Why would she need his good luck anyway? Maybe she could use it in the future. Good luck might help her master her magic. Maybe it would even help her when she became the queen. Too bad no one ever caught the snow hare. It was said he was only a legend. When the fire died down, it was time for the girls to go to bed. They ducked into their fort and checked on Hildy and Hannah before snuggling into bed. The queen sat with one arm around each of her daughters as she read them fairy tales, and then she tucked them in for the night. "Sweet dreams," she said. "Tomorrow will be a new adventure." The room was dark when their mother left, and the shadows moved across the ceiling. Next to Elsa, Anna propped herself up on one elbow. "Want to tell ghost stories?" she asked. Elsa could already hear the wind howling through the trees. It did sound a little like ghosts, she thought. Sure. She was careful not to make her story too scary for Anna, though. Hers was about a friendly ghost who returned to the same summer cottage summer after summer to visit the place he loved most. Anna's story was darker and more dramatic. "This is about the ghosts of the people who looked for the snow hare but never found him," she began. "They never found good luck. Actually, all their luck was bad." Elsa couldn't let Anna give herself nightmares. "Let's save that one for tomorrow night, okay?" she said. She hugged her sister and closed her eyes, pretending to sleep. In no time, Anna was breathing evenly, lost to the world of dreams. Elsa wasn't tired yet, but she knew a good way to put herself to sleep. All Elsa needed to do was start reviewing her list of Arundel's rulers, and she drifted off at once. In the middle of the night, though, Elsa awoke with a start. For a moment, she forgot where she was, but soon she remembered. The little room, the summer, the fort, the dolls, the plate, the future. But something wasn't right. Elsa was still half asleep, so it took a moment for her foggy mind to realize what was wrong. The spot beside her bed was warm, but her sister wasn't there. I'll see you next Wednesday on Book Bites from the Oosterhout Free Library. Want to know the end right away? Come in and check out the book.